Celeb Secrets is hanging out with Hunter Hayes today. So excited to talk to you. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Great, great. Congrats, on the brand new single, Every Piece. By the time we post this, it's going to be out. So, how are you feeling now that fans are able to hear this new song?
I'm stoked. I like this song up until this point. Well, yeah, I mean, everything from this era, this season, this whatever series, the Evergreen series, uh, has been a very exciting and very therapeutic, but also just like really like exciting process to work on this project. It's been, the first song for this project was written like over 8 years ago, almost 10 years ago. So it's been like in the waiting room for a minute. And to like shove everything off the desk and focus on this with a brand new set of like intentionality, intentions, goals, hopes, dreams, aspirations for this project, and to really focus on it, to start the year, finish last year and start the year this year was really just like life giving for me. And to have something so intentional as a project has been exciting. Speaking specifically to this song, I never forget the day that I wrote this with two songwriters that I absolutely love working with. The goal is to sit down and describe the kind of relationship, the kind of thing that you experience when someone sees you in pieces and loves all the pieces, not just the picture that those pieces make, right? So I'm excited for this, and also it's like it's a little bit of my guitar jam song, right? If I get to be the electric guitar player, sort of like, this was all just very like the pocket of this song is really fun for us to play with, and most of this song kind of took shape in a day, right? I wrote the song, I came home, and I started working on the demo immediately. So the songs like that happen like that tend to have a good energy to them, and this one feels like that for me. So yeah, I'm excited to finally have it into the world. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it's such a celebration of, deep connection and even rediscovery. What kind of inspired this story behind the track and what made now the right time to release it?
What inspired it is just my relationship, the person that has welcomed me into their life, and the person that I've connected with the most, and um, a new kind of relationship. I feel like a new kind of love, unconditional, and sort of like experiencing what it's like to be fully seen, fully known by someone, and then fully loved for all of it. I had just come home from a trip with this person and was inspired by just like the amount of hurdles we had to jump through for this trip. It was kind of chaotic, to say it just like gently and quickly. It was a lot of sort of like, I don't know. It was a chaotic travel experience, and we still had fun, And I don't know. I just like I felt like this was something I wanted to say. I wanted a song that celebrated the pieces that it takes for all of us to be the complete picture of who we are. Every piece is just like the celebration and the sort of like looking around, like, wow, this is what it's like to sort of arrive at something that you've dreamed for and or prayed for and dreamed about, etc. Yeah.
Totally. And even sonically, I feel like, you're blending pop and soul and even that country charm that I first met you on, while still feeling very Hunter Hayes, right? So what kind
Mm.
of inspired that groove driven sound?
We were playing around the groove for it. It started as, let me grab a guitar real quick, because it just, I mean, the whole thing, right, is just I don't know if you can hear this through the mic, but it needed to marry being like a wedding song, but also being something that a couple enjoys sort of like in the living room, dancing in the living room, you know what I mean? Like it had to feel like both of those worlds kind of coming together. And the more we played with it, Sam just sat at the keyboard and like sang the chorus melody, and it felt very timeless. And so the more we wrote it, the more, you know, I'm always aiming for timeless. I don't chase trends. I mean, my ultimate dream is to create something that becomes a trend, but you can't do that intentionally. It just happens when it happens. And so I loved how timeless his like melody was, and John Mark Nelson was just like walking around the room and started kind of like playing with these like words and like shattered, scattered, and all these things, and it just felt like the song was falling from the sky like rain. And so we were just out there catching it, you know what I mean? And the bridge of the song was actually the original chorus. It was something I wrote for it to be the chorus, and I loved just saying like, I'm shattered in a million pieces, but somehow you make it all make sense. And And so the more we played with it, the more it made sense. The groove was just something I kind of wanted to lean into. The things that I have listened to that just feel like that pocket, those things. I mean, I don't know, those things bring me a lot of joy, and I don't get to play with those rhythms, those pockets very often. So it was just kind of it was selfish.
Is there like a certain message that you have for it that you want fans to take away when they listen?
The whole thing behind this record, I'm very intentional about this. I am my favorite artists are the artists who share their life story, and I feel like I can connect with them through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also find that I want space for everyone to hear themselves in what I make. I want people to connect with it however they want to connect with it. My dream is, if you have your person, I hope this is a song that fits on your playlist. And if you don't have your person yet, I hope this is something that gives you the space to sit down and make that list of what that person is to you already.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. And I want to know maybe how your approach to songwriting and storytelling changed from, your debut era or even your last era to now with this new project.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, it kind of sits in that last explanation of like the what I wanted this whole project to be, right? Like,
Yeah.
I want to write from experience, and there's so many things that I experienced that aren't necessarily my experience, right? And I don't want to make music, and release an album and go, this is just about my life. Like, these are lessons that I've learned, whether it be from firsthand experience or conversations, secondhand experience. So I think what shifted for me the most is making sure that it is open and trying to make space in these songs. And it's a delicate sort of dance. And I want to include as many details as I can so that you know how real it is for me, whatever that is, whether that's firsthand experience or secondhand experience. I want to leave room. I want to leave space. One of the reasons I love co-writing is because it is a literal conversation. Mm-hmm. And the more flow there is in that conversation, the more flow there is in the song, the more space there is for other people, and the more space there is for me. I think for a long time, working in certain contexts, there was this internalized expectation to be a certain thing or to do a certain thing. And the last kind of 4 or 5 years have just been an effort to me to unravel those internal beliefs and things. And I feel like this album is like the landing of, okay, I feel whole as a human. I feel whole as a creator. I feel like I've never been as happy as I am, and creating music from a place of just pure joy. And I think that's the thing I'm most excited about this chapter, this season.
Yeah. And is there maybe like a secret or like fun fact about making this project, or even every piece, since we are Celeb Secrets, that we wouldn't know just by listening to it?
Oh man, where do we start? Well, I should credit my dog Ella as a co-producer, because she was there for the creation of it and patient with me as I've made noise for hours on end. So that's to me, that's a fun little. I think of Ella when I think of some of these, when I hear a lot of these songs that I worked on while she was still here. So that brings me joy.
Yeah, and I know the track is about deep connection, but I kind of want to flip the switch on it. So what's one non-negotiable piece of Hunter Hayes' life that you can't live without?
Besides, I feel like, okay, I'm going to say the obvious thing, and then I'll try to find something more interesting. The obvious thing is music. Like, I do work late. I do love what I do, and I'm very passionate about it. And, music means that you're kind of like, you have to always kind of be on and ready, right? To like either receive creativity or accept an opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of travel involved.
Yeah.
Non-music related, the non-negotiables. I would have said my dogs, because while I had both of them, they were my entire life. My entire life revolved around Cole and Ella, and in a lot of ways, it kind of still does in some really cool kind of ways. But non-negotiables, I mean, I think it's just like the commitment to growing.
Okay.
Like, I am far from perfect. I have a lot that I want to work on all the time. I'm learning every day, And that's the thing that I want to share with my partner.
And I know you're such a multi-instrumentalist. If you could swap instruments with any artist for one night on tour, whose instrument would you want to swap with?
Oh man, what a great question.
Thank you.
A lot of great questions. A lot of this is really okay. The first thing I think of is piano because I love writing on piano. I don't get to spend a lot of time on piano during the show. There's like two songs, and it's kind of like the most predictable two songs for me to play piano on. It's like, of course, he's going to play piano on Wanted, but um, I think Chris Martin's piano. Every time Chris Martin sits down and plays piano, um, that feels like church, and I want that. I want that feeling. Um, his relationship with that instrument is incredible, and
Yeah.
I think that's what I envy the most. It's
Yeah.
like being that fluid and comfortable. Yeah.